Alright, I wanted to do a quick video on scope ring height. And not because I'm an expert in it, but because I'm trying to figure it out. And looking at videos on YouTube, I haven't seen a lot of simple answers. And I'm thinking about this video, and it's not going to be a simple answer. But here's what I bought to go on a Mauser I have. That I have a 20 MOA rail on order for. So I have a scope very close to this scope here, and those are the rings. Those are the vortex rings. I got medium rings, and you can see there's a pretty big gap in that. And so I'm going to take these back and get low rings. Less than an inch, I guess. So that's what medium looks like on a rail with a 42 millimeter objective. That's the specific answer. That's what a 42 millimeter objective will look at like. And that's a heavy barrel Savage, but that's a 20 MOA rail, and that's those medium vortex rings. 42 millimeter objective. Up here I have low Warren rings on a flat rail with a 40 millimeter objective. I don't hate that on that Remington 700 short action. Now here's more what I like, and this is, of course, I'm not a pro. This is a Bagheera. It's got the 42 millimeter objective, the SWFA, just like that Savage. But that's about as close as you can go with moving those back. But these are medium tally one-piece rings. They're medium height, tally, one piece. And what do I want to say about that? 42 millimeter objective. There's no rail though. They're lower medium because they're not as high off the action because they're one piece. Now, here's the flip side, and this is what these are going on. And we can just set that there. Set these here. A rail's not going to be any higher or lower, I guess, just because it's a rail and not the regular old scope bases. But, oh, one-handed. But anyway, that's what I'm looking at. So, yeah, I can take, I've got a half-inch gap. I can drop a quarter inch if they are that much smaller. I hope I didn't seat that one down right. Come on, babe. Alright, that is it. So, it doesn't look horrible, especially with the sunshade on the side and the size of the scope, but that is at least a half inch. That's like probably more than a half inch. So, when I get my rail, and I'll take these back and get lows and get a little closer to the barrel, and then we won't have to build up our cheek piece as much to get it going. But that's the closest answer. It's not an answer. It's, look at, with a thinner barrel, a sporter barrel, it looks like a huge gap. With medium medium scope ring height and a 42. So if it were 50, it'd probably be what you'd have to go with. But for 40s, you want low. And that's, you're still going to have that much gap, which is, you know, I can't, what is this bubble level thing, maybe? This might be about like a cartridge, like a 223 cartridge size, you know? This bubble level thing. But anyway, that's the best answer I could give. I'm gonna say something about these. My other 30 millimeter rings are worn or warny. I don't know. But anyway, they're the ones that, you know, they look like this. I like these. I've never had a problem with these. But I'm going to tell you something, just handling these, and I think those are steel. These vortex, the screws are bigger, and it's made out of aluminum, and it's a little beefier, and I really am kind of liking them. Like, they feel good. They feel like there's no way you're gonna strip these out unless you're out of your mind or whatever. So anyway, I just like those, and the base right here has those nice big screws too, where it mounts to the base, and I like that too. So probably in the future, and they're a lot more like these weavers, but these are only 1 inch. But except for there's only single screw in the base, and then these screws are way bigger, nice and beefy, and I really like that. I'm not one of those guys that wants the big 3, Torx screws in the top, but it feels like it's going to be a nice surface area, and you're going to be able to torque them down snug, and there'll be no movement and no chance of you stripping them out. So yeah, that's my best answer I can come up with for scope height and scope rings. I want it to look like this, but I want it 20 MOA, so I have to use a rail, so I can't use the one-piece scope base ring combo like Tally's. So the best it's going to get is probably like that with a 42, and that's a 40 right there, but as you see. Anyway, thanks. Here's the Mauser sitting in. There's the scope with the low rings. Looks like it dropped it by about 3/16 of an inch. So it's still pretty good gap, but that's the low ones. That's what we're going with. 42 millimeter tube.